back to Your Crafty Place. I did a quick trip to Michael's yesterday as I was going to visit a friend, and I picked up a few things from there. I picked up some paper, but I also picked up some of their die sets that they have, and they had a lot of their Halloween stuff out, and I picked up one of the die sets for Halloween. I thought really this could be used any time of the year. It doesn't have to just be Halloween. It's got a little kitty cat in here, and it says we're all mad here, and it's the Mad Hatter's Tea Shop, Tea Parties Daily, and there's a little teacup, mushrooms, flowers, and a little bottle. And then the die cuts cut out the kitty cat, the flower, and the we are all mad here. So we are going to use this one today. I also picked this one up, which is just the layering die cuts for card bases or card layers. And these are all the different layers that are involved in it. So the 4.2 by the 5.5 is close to an A2 card size, and then you just start stepping down from there all the way down to 0.5 by 1.7 inches. So I think that will be a good one. I picked up this bow one just because I thought it was cute, not that I needed it, but it has these different bows in here that you can make, and it shows you on the back how to make them. And this one, I think all of these were $9.99. This one was $9.99. They were not on sale, but they did have their stamps and stamp pads on sale that were not their brand. They were buy one, get one 50%, I think. And then this one I thought was cute. Oops. This one, they are right at 4 1/4 inches. If you measure here, they're right at 4 1/2. And then the final one I got was this one here. It's got multiple different ones in there. There are some triangles, some banners, and then kind of like tags, but they don't have the hole in them, and I'll take them all out. But here's all the different sizes on the back. So you've got this one here, this one, and then this one. So I'm going to use these two pieces of scrap paper that I have. One is a thinner paper, and one is a little bit more cardstocky, not 110, probably 65-pound cardstock. I'm gonna get my paper trimmer out just because I don't need that big of a piece and it won't go through my die cut machine. So I'm just gonna cut this down. So I have two pieces there, and then this one I'm going to cut down as well. And I didn't hold, so if I were to come back in here and do this, you could see that my very end of it here buckled. I think I've talked about that before. If you don't hold both of these, your paper will buckle on you when you go to cut. So be sure you're holding both of these down, otherwise you won't get a straight cut and you'll get frustrated, or at least I do. So I'm going to use my electronic die cut machine, or my electric die cut machine, not electronic, electric die cut machine. I got this at a crafty garage sale. So I'm going to use the third one in because I think I'm also going to get a black. And I'm just going to trim this piece off here. I'm going to put this one down on here. Use a little bit of mint tape so that it doesn't fall when I move it. So on something like this, I would try to line up with the lines on my paper so that it will look somewhat straight. This die is flimsy, so you have to be careful. Don't force it. I shouldn't say it's flimsy. It's not flimsy, but because there's so much space in here that's opened, it can move on you a little bit. I don't know if you can see that or not, where it doesn't stay square. So just be mindful of that when you're putting it down. I'm going to tape that one down, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to skip one and go to the next one. And these are the two we're going to do at this moment. And this one, you just need to decide which way you want the stripes. Do you want the stripes going like I have them here, or should I turn it and have them going like this? I don't know that it really matters. I'm going to tape it down like that. And I'm just going to let the rest of that paper hang out the end. And then we will also need a white piece of paper. So I have a white piece. You could use whatever color you wanted there, but I'm going to use that one. And paper, even though it's thinner, the reason it doesn't cut is because it's thinner, so it's not as, I really needed to put a shim on the paper part of it because there's more space between it and the top plate because I have a thicker cardstock on there, so I should have put another piece of paper on top of this and it would have cut better. And since I'm layering it, and this piece is actually going to go in here, I'm going to go ahead and try and get this centered and just use this black for both of them, and I'll just have a hole in the center. And I am perfectly fine with that because I am conserving paper. And I'm trying to get it straight. It's okay if it's not 100. So, this one is going to go on here, so you won't notice the part that we cut out in the back. And then this piece is going to go over the top of it, so you really won't even feel the indentation because you'll have the piece covering it. So, Misty, and then I'm going to I'm going to pull all of this out so that I get the dies out as well. So there's the dies. So I'm going to do the We Are All Mad here. I'm going to do the kitty cat. The kitty cat has the die and the flower has the die. The potion bottle does not and the mushrooms do not, but I'm going to go ahead and stamp as many as I can on here. And if we have to fussy cut out, we can fussy cut out. I just want to make sure that the ones that have a die have enough room for the die to go around them. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp all those. I'm going to turn that one that way. Stamp all those. I am going to use Scrapbook.com's Charcoal Gray 3. So I thought this was a little too plain, so I used the Distressed Ink Dusty Concord with a little sponge dauber and just went around the edges. It matches now with the hat and the flowers, and the bottle matches with the flower on the hat. So we are going to use a black card base. I will use a piece of 20-pound copy paper to put in the inside of it. But for now, we're going to glue all these pieces together. I'm first going to glue this layer to the black layer. So I'm just going to, for now, glue right around the edge. Since I cut that out of the center, I don't want to have glue all over my mat. And I'm going to turn it over and make sure that I've actually got it down here. There's not much on this edge over here, so I don't know that I got close enough because it doesn't seem to be grabbing, so I'm just going to take my glue and run a line right up there. Didn't squeeze, just let what was in the nozzle come out of the nozzle. And then I think I'm going to take another sheet of white paper here, just because I'm looking at it thinking the black on the black isn't going to be, you're not going to be able to see it very well. So I'm going to cut another one that is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. think this will fit on here, and then this will fit on here, and we'll still have a tiny, tiny black border around it. But I'm not going to glue that on there just yet. I'm going to do the rest, and we're going to see if I need it or not. And if this is too stark white, I may distress it with a little bit of black soot, I think it is. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this piece, which is, again, just a piece of paper. So use what you have, mix and match. I'm going to glue it onto this layer. And by using those dies, you have a perfect mat all the way around. Your paper trimmer can't accidentally, warp your page or anything like that because you use those. And there's a lot of other other companies out there that have layering dies like that. So if you prefer a different one, those were just the cheapest I found because they were only $9.99 and they were from Michaels. You can't get them on Amazon too. Amazon is a hit or miss on some of the stuff, so you just have to be careful. And as I've said before, you get what you pay for. I don't want to put this straight down on here, so I'm going to turn it to the side just a little bit here. So there is that, and now it's time to add our pieces to our card. And I do think I'm going to use foam squares to pop them up. So I've got these foam squares. I'm not sure what they're from. I've had them for a while, but I will use the squares, but then I also cut, or the circles, but I also cut this part because it sticks up too. It's just not as much as the ones that I've been using. These are the ones that I've been using, and so they're a lot more thick than these are. So I'm going to grab my pokey tool here and all your pieces. So let's start with kind of laying them where we think we might want them. Maybe like that. I don't know, I always change my mind. I'll get them laid out and then I actually go to glue them down on the card and they don't stay where I originally started. So I'm gonna stick this one here. If you have older ones or ones that you've stuck your finger to, like these two down here, just add a little bit of glue to make sure that, they're still sticky and they're gonna stick for you. So I'm gonna stick the kitty cat. I'm gonna stick the kitty cat up here like that. And then we'll do the last one, which is the flower. And I've got that piece there, but it looks like it's seen better days, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna stick the flower kind of off the side there, like that. And then I have decided that the paper needs a little bit something, so I'm going to use my Distress Ink Black Soot. And my foam pad here. This one I haven't used, or I have used the black soot to do this before, but I don't know what I did with the sponge stopper or the foam round, so I just got a new one. So, and then I'm just gonna go around. Don't need to go in the center because it's gonna be covered. We're good there. I'm going to move this so we don't accidentally get that black soot. You can see all that on there on something else. Okay, so we have this with the black soot, we're going to put it down, and then this is going to kind of go over it. So you don't see very much of it at all, but it does give you some distinction between the card base and that first layer there. So I'm going to go ahead and glue around the edge of our black. And then I'm also going to glue on the paper just so that it will grab, since that's just 20-pound copy paper inked. So remember that this is a tiny, tiny little border around the edge of it. So you're not going to see much of it. But see how it just gives you that little bit of pop from the black. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down now. I got this pack from Amazon. It had all these different colors in it. I don't know how well it's picking up online, but I think I'm going to do some black ones on here. So black, and maybe I'll do a couple of purple too. But I'm going to do the tiniest ones here. Maybe we'll do we have purple? Yeah, here's some purple. There we go. Do whoops. Do that one down here, and I'm going to do one more right in the center. So you can do them however you want. I'm not great at putting them down. I do like to keep an odd number though. Now we're going to glue the piece on the inside. And you could do the same thing with this one. Just at the bottom to give it a little bit of distinction or interest. Just do a little bit of the black soot right along the bottom. You could do the whole thing if you wanted to. But if you just do it along the bottom, it gives it a little bit, it's not a stark white, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So let's go ahead and try it around. I'm not picking up any more. I'm taking what I had on my mat that I used before and just using it to, sorry if I'm shaking the camera. All right, I'm going to move that again. And then I'm going to just glue along the edges of this one, because when I glue the copy paper down, I don't want them to be able to, when you're writing on it, I don't want you to be able to feel any of the glue. So, and this one again has a very small edge around it. It doesn't have a very big one. I just didn't want it to be overhanging. That's why it's a small edge. So. All right, so there is that card. If you have anybody that likes Alice in Wonderland, it kind of gives Alice in Wonderland vibes. It is a Michaels stamp set, and it does not reference that particular movie, but I mean, it's Mad Hatters. You know, we're all mad here. The Cheshire Cat, the drink, the potion, and the mushrooms. So you have to have a teapot to be able to drink the tea. So I think it's a very cute set. Like I said, Michaels had a bunch of other sets as well, so be sure to check them out online or go run by the store and see them. I'd wait till their stuff's on sale. It was not on sale when I went by, but I don't get by Michaels much, so I decided to go ahead and buy them. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you again soon. Now go craft something. Bye.